This right here is the current Hells Angels clubhouse in Las Vegas. It was raided this year after a shooting they got into. Okay everybody, this is mooneydashcam, and I don't know about you, but I'm getting a little bit tired of New York. Thank you. Okay, we're in Las Vegas. Today we're going to two different Hells Angels clubhouses. We're going to go to their old one, we're going to go to their current one, and we're also going to go to a chapel, one of those marriage chapels that we all know in Vegas, where there was a huge Hells Angels fight at. So, I'm bringing it to you all today. Let's flip this around and get into it. Okay, the first address that we're going to is 800 South 4th Street. It's a special memory wedding chapel. Let me tell you, some special memories were absolutely made there. The times this all happened, the dates, are anywhere between December of 2008 and as recently as last year in June. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram at mooneydashcam. I post on there pretty much every single day. Any crime scene photos that can't go on the YouTube end up on the Instagram, so go check that out. Also, don't forget to leave suggestions for future videos in the comments. I very much appreciate that. I got a lot of inspiration that way. And hit the notification bell so you guys can see exactly when I post a new video. Okay, we're very close to this chapel. I'll give you the background and details of what went on here and why we're even going there. So, December 20th, 2008, Hells Angels were having a wedding ceremony for Brad Goldsmith. That might not sound like an important name, but to anyone that knows the Hells Angels, they know it's important. When towards the end, 3 rival Mongols motorcycle club members come in to have a ceremony of their own. Now, Brad Goldsmith is Charles Pee Wee Goldsmith's son. He is not only the Hells Angels Las Vegas chapter president at the time, he is the one credited for bringing the Hells Angels to Vegas. So he's a super, super influential guy, and his son is having a wedding. And the Mongols show up right when their ceremony is letting out. So surveillance video shows Charles Pee Wee Goldsmith, who is, by the way, 6'8" and 400 pounds, a giant human being, throwing the first punches. Right when he saw the Mongols, he started swinging right away. It was on sight. These guys have been feuding and have been rivals for a very long time. And since he's president, obviously all the members and associates that were there with him follow his lead. So it became a 13-on-3 brawl. I assume the Mongols didn't really want to fight. There were only 3 guys. There were 13 Hells Angels. Any level-headed person would try and talk their way out of that one. But that wasn't happening today. The 13 men pounced on the Mongols using everything they had available. Punches, kicks, stomps, bottles, trash cans. They were throwing trash cans around. And eventually, at one point, 3 of the Hells Angels took out knives and started stabbing the Mongols. That is where this started to get really crazy, because otherwise it's just a fight between motorcycle clubs. This happens a lot, but now that you involve knives, it becomes a more serious situation. Charges get brought up. Stuff like that can't just be let go. Oh, I'm going to loop around and pull over. Oh, this is perfect. Oh, you know what? Look at this. We'll park right in this alleyway right here. Possibly where the Hells Angels parked when they were doing this. By the way, say hello to the... Oh, not the truck. Okay, continuing on, breezing past that. Now, even though those fights sounded pretty bad, it only lasted about a minute long, which of course a 13-on-3 fight would last about that long. Anything more than that's kind of crazy. And I think once the stabbing started, that's when most of the people stopped what they were doing. So this is the chapel. We'll make a full lap around. I swear I remember this from some kind of TV show or something like that, but who knows? Maybe you guys can let me know. Here's the front, and we'll go around. There's even a drive-through part of this. So it resulted in 6 people injured in total. 2 Mongols went to the hospital. Look at this, we'll get up close. So you can imagine they exit these doors, go into the parking lot, and that's where the fight started. We'll go all the way around to the front. Nice old school. Everything in Vegas is kind of old school, now that I think about it. There's the big sign. You got the front. Okay, loop around. In all, 13 men were charged for the fight. Pee Wee pled guilty to battery with substantial bodily harm with the intent to promote, further, or assist the activities of a criminal gang. That was a fucking mouthful. And coercion. His son Brad, whose wedding it was sentenced to 16 months to 4 years. Pee Wee was sentenced to 2 to 5 years. So you could actually have a drive-up special memory wedding. You guys think I should do it while I'm here? You guys think I should go to a strip club, get someone? Oh, you actually drive up from this way. So my car's already like halfway there. All right. Can you even call this a truck? I don't think so. I think technically maybe, but I don't know. All right, so after this incident, Pee Wee was kicked out of the Hells Angels, even though he was very important. He wasn't that important. I'll tell you why. So apparently, no matter how important you are, you can't override the rules of the Hells Angels. You are not supposed to talk to police at all. In this case, he made a statement to the police. As far as I know in the statement, he doesn't incriminate anybody. He only states that it was for self-defense. I'll get into the reasons why it's self-defense in a second here. Let's flip this around. We'll go to the next location. Okay, continuing to the next address here, 801 North Torrey Pines Drive. We get to drive down this alleyway together, which is very fun for the both of us. We don't have alleyways like this in New York. Okay, so the reason why the lawyers and Pee Wee were able to claim that it was self-defense were because months earlier in San Francisco, Christopher Stoney Alblet, a member of the Mongols outlaw motorcycle gang, I don't know all the details of the situation, but from what I understand, he was accused of stabbing and shooting Mark Papa Guadardo outside of a bar September 2nd, 2008. And the Hells Angel that he stabbed and shot wasn't just anybody, that was a chapter president. So this was serious. So in that case, when Pee Wee saw the Mongols, he kind of had every right in his head to say, maybe these guys are going to kill me and my family right now. I have to act before they act. So that's what they went on. That's what their lawyers went on. And we're going to either speed this up, and if it's a boring drive, we'll teleport, and we'll be at the next location. We're almost at 801 North Torrey Pines Drive. So, Wednesday, November 11th, 2009, police raided 6 locations in connection with the Hells Angels between 6:15 a.m. and 11 a.m. Now, in the police's words, we were looking for specific evidence. We didn't expect to make any arrests unless we found something inside that would have forced us to. They wouldn't discuss what was seized. They were sealed search warrants. That day, no arrests were made. I guess they were just gaining certain types of evidence. Like they said, they were looking for specific evidence. I'll have to show you guys pictures of this place when it was still their clubhouse. It looked kind of wild, like all their clubhouses do. So these raids had partly to do with the chapel fight. One neighbor says he was woken up to explosion-like noises, then loud yelling. SWAT swarmed the house for about 2 hours. Neighbors saw officers shoot something at security cameras. They ended up covered in pink paint. Maybe it was like a paintball gun. I'm not sure exactly how they go about that. The front window and garage door were broken in. Then later on in the day, they were replaced by plywood. All right, we're almost here, this last turn. One neighbor said sometimes there would be like 60 motorcycles here, and they pointed over to the corner, and then they said, but they were never rowdy. Then a few neighbors didn't want their names in the reports, which I understand. Okay, we're pulling up now. If I have to pull over on the same side, I will, but I would rather not. Look, I can pull over on the other side. It's always a little bit creepy on my end too, not just on the person's end whose house I'm filming, but when I film a private house. You don't want to disturb anybody. You put yourself in their shoes and you say, would I want someone filming outside of my house? And the answer to that is no, but you can't really do anything about it if someone was to film outside your house. That's the screwed up part. Okay, we'll stop right here and hop out. Okay, so that is the house right there that the Hells Angels clubhouse was in. On that banner, it said Sin City, and then HAMC. It was red, white, and black, as their stuff usually is. This is the neighborhood that I was in. Pretty nice little spot. Say hi to the car. I don't know what to say about that. I will walk down, I will walk around, and we'll go right in front. So that bottom right window and the garage door was blown out. Neighbors said they heard officers yell, "We have the right to come in and check the house. We are serving a notice." Officers were in and out in 10 minutes. They didn't remove any items from the house. There's one thing I have to say about Vegas. The roads are impeccable. Well, as I'm looking at that big bump with all the scrapes on it, I guess they're not perfect, but they're very, very good. So I assume this is the corner when they said, oh, they park about 60 bikes here. I assume this is the corner. I don't know for sure, obviously. I don't know how these crossing signs work in Vegas. So I don't want to do my usual jaywalking and get squashed by a car, but I'm going to do it anyway. Okay. Now, after we are done with this house, we go to the real deal current clubhouse. So I guess that maybe they left this one after Pee Wee was not allowed in the Hells Angels anymore, because he was the head of the Sin City chapter. At one point, the chapter splintered off, and it was the Sin City chapter and then another. So this is it. You can see the gates and everything. It's a pretty cool spot, actually. And especially when they had it, they always make their stuff look cool. The next clubhouse that we're going to isn't as impressive as this one. It's not like as big of a building or anything like that. It's kind of small. It looks more like this. But that's the place. Now we get to cross without the crosswalk on this nice old road here. Now I bet if a cop saw me do this, I'd get a ticket. Meanwhile, in New York, it's almost expected that you're going to jaywalk. But I don't know how much that goes for out here. Alright, sooner or later I'll be able to walk. If I start walking now, you think anyone will get nervous? Now you want to see something fancy this car has and my truck doesn't? Watch this. I'm sure you guys have this in your cars. Oh, don't even have to take the key out of your pocket. And then wait. Push start. Fancy, fancy. Moving up in the world. Okay, we have almost the exact same drive back. That initial chapel and the next clubhouse that we're going to are very close together, but this is what I do for you guys and this channel. So, like I said, I'll either speed this up or we'll teleport there depending on how cool the drive looks. So we're about a half a mile from this clubhouse now at 1505 East Bonanza Road. This is their headquarters. They weren't only raided one time. The first time was March 17th, 2010 on a Wednesday. By the way, all three of the raids I'm going to be talking about in this, I already talked about one, happened on a Wednesday. So Wednesdays are bad luck for the Hells Angels. That raid was a part of an investigation into stolen items from the Salvation Army. 2 unnamed Hells Angels were suspects in the case. An unspecified number of items, including firearms and vehicles, were all donated. I believe it's up here on the left. Oh, you see the big H to the left? I'm gonna have to pull over somewhere. There's like some tech guy, some tech van at the clubhouse right now. But like I was saying, an unspecified number of items, including firearms and vehicles that were donated, were reported missing. So I don't know if they were involved. I don't know whatever ended up coming about with that situation. If this van that's in the driveway of the Hells Angels clubhouse ends up getting in the way too bad, don't worry, I will show you all pictures. Because I'm not going to get super up close. Everyone always warns me when I do these videos that I should be more careful. Okay, this right here seems much better. Much more open area to park. We'll do a quick walk around the block here. So this place was raided June 29th on a Wednesday, 2022, because of the incident that happened 1 month earlier on May 29th at a Memorial Day ride. Hells Angels and Vagos got into a shootout on the highway. I have a whole video coming out about that. Don't worry, you'll see it all. But we're just going to walk and talk here. They don't make their clubhouses too secret looking. That's just how it goes. This is the neighborhood. Most of the suburbs on the outskirts of Vegas, I don't want to say anything bad about them, but they seem old. They seem like they were built a long time ago. See what I'm saying? So that's the clubhouse right there. As you all know, I'm not going to aim the camera too hard that way. I know I have a bunch of Hells Angels that watch my channel, at least other outlaw motorcycle clubs. I don't know if they like to be called that. I know they don't like to be called gangs. I've been told that very, very much. But that's the place there. Vegas, Vegas, the Hells Angels, the big sign. I have pictures of the police going in and out of there. I don't know if I mentioned, but the SWAT helped in this raid. Look what happened here. Wow. Something I noticed though in Vegas is that there's not a lot of fences. It's more concrete walls. See what I'm saying? Everything's concrete. Now I don't know why. I don't know if that's due to the heat, or they can't have those PVC fences that we have around, but that's the clubhouse right there. I would get closer. I think they may have crashed into that white gate on the right when this went down, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure if that's how this went down. Okay, and this is this other street here. I like that the police are here for me. We'll go down, we'll walk around, make the full loop around the block. Anyone need a couch? Love seat? So there's no way of you guys knowing this, but pretty much every time I travel, I get sick. So I landed in Vegas and instantly knew I had strep throat. Went right to an urgent care, got some antibiotics. So that's my normal trend for trips like this. I came to Vegas once with poison ivy over half my body. Had to go to an urgent care to get a cortisone shot. Went to Florida once, got a sinus infection. Went to Atlantic City in New Jersey once. Had a full fever and like headache, like full on flu symptoms. So kind of any trip I take, I just expect to get sick. And there's definitely more than I'm forgetting, even when I'm a kid and stuff.
The car should be just around this corner.
A lot of one-story houses here. I've been to Vegas a few times. I never actually explored the suburbs like I am this time. This is probably my 5th time in Vegas. For sale, if anyone wants to buy. We know I do real estate ads. All right, we'll get back in the car, truck, van, crossover, whatever this is, and finish off the rest of the story here. So, as far as the Hells Angels go, I might have a story or two coming out more about them. But everyone I told that I was coming here and I was going to go to the Hells Angels clubhouse told me, no, you're crazy, you don't go, whatever, whatever. I would not be able to live with myself if I didn't go and record it. Because I've been to countless clubhouses at this point. Hagen's, Hells Angels, Chinglings. I've been to multiple Hells Angels in New York. The Bronx one, the Church one on Long Island. And I've walked past active mafia social clubs. I mean, how could I come here and not bring you guys the close-up outside look of the Hells Angels clubhouse? It wouldn't be the same if I just drove by and said, hey, it's right there, as I went 35 miles an hour. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hope you appreciate it. Hope you make everyone that said I shouldn't come here, hope you proved to them that I should have came here. Like I mentioned earlier, I have a video coming out all about that shooting last year on May 29th, 2022, on Memorial Weekend, on the highway. I actually go to the highway where this happens. That raid that happened most recently at the clubhouse was because of that shooting. They were looking for more either people to arrest or stuff to recover to add to their case. And that case is still ongoing. I believe the trial is set, if I remember correctly, May 24th, 2024. That's off of memory. I could be wrong in that. It might be like March. So yeah, that's pretty much everything I have to tell you about the situation. And I hope to see you guys all in the next one.